Someone is controlling you, and you probably don't even realize it. People manipulate you every single day, friends, partners, coworkers, and even strangers online. But the truth is, most manipulation is silent, hidden, and completely invisible. You mistake it for kindness, for attention, for love. Today, you're going to learn 7 dark psychology tricks people use to control your mind, your emotions, and your decisions without you ever noticing. The first dark psychology trick is called the mirror technique. It's simple, but terrifyingly effective. They copy your tone, your gestures, your emotions, even your personality. And your brain automatically thinks, I trust them. They're just like me. But the truth is, they're not bonding with you. They're disarming you. The mirror technique makes you feel understood, but the whole connection is manufactured. The second trick is far more dangerous. It's called intermittent reinforcement, the psychology of emotional addiction. They give you attention, then suddenly take it away. One day they're warm, the next day they're cold. This unpredictability releases dopamine, the same chemical behind gambling addiction. You become attached to the uncertainty, not the person. And without realizing it, you start chasing the tiny moments when they finally show interest again. That's how emotional dependence begins. The third trick is known as the guilt anchor. They twist your emotions is turning your kindness into a weapon. They make you feel guilty even when you did nothing wrong. You begin apologizing for things you never did. You start walking on eggshells, terrified of disappointing them. And slowly, guilt becomes control. Your empathy becomes the leash they pull. The fourth trick is one of the most subtle forms of manipulation. It's called isolation camouflage. They isolate you but disguise it as care. They tell you that others don't really understand you, that only they truly care. And gradually, you drift away from your friends, your support system, and everyone who once grounded you. Less connection means more dependence, and more dependence means more control. When someone becomes the only person you rely on, they become the only voice you listen to. The fifth trick is future faking. They promise a future they never intend to deliver. They promise change. They promise commitment. They promise a better version of themselves, and you hold on because hope feels easier than truth. But hope becomes the chain that keeps you waiting, and the future never arrives. Future faking keeps you emotionally invested in something that only exists in your imagination. The sixth trick is one of the most powerful and the most subtle. It's called the confusion technique. When your mind is confused, your defenses collapse. Manipulators use contradiction, mixed messages, and emotional whiplash. They overwhelm you until nothing feels clear anymore, and in the fog of confusion, you look to them for clarity. That's when control begins. The confused mind follows the loudest voice, and skilled manipulators make sure that voice is theirs. The seventh and final trick is the silent power move. Not peaceful silence, but weaponized silence. They ignore you, not because they're busy, but because it makes you uneasy. You start doubting yourself. You start apologizing. You chase their attention, trying to fix a problem they created, and in that moment, they win. Silence is the strongest psychological pressure because it forces you to fill the void. You overthink, you panic, you break before they do, and once you break, you become easier to control. These 7 tricks are subtle, but incredibly powerful. Once you learn to recognize them, everything changes. You stop falling for manipulation. You stop blaming yourself. You begin to see people's intentions, not their words. But here's the unsettling part. These 7 tricks are only the beginning. The real manipulative techniques, the ones used by expert manipulators and narcissists, are far more subtle and far more dangerous. If you want to understand those deeper tactics, subscribe to this channel for next video. It will change how you see everyone around you.